What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome to the WARFRAME video. So today we're talking about the dev stream that went down yesterday. This is going to be the last dev stream they do until TennoCon. I think TennoCon's like middle of July or something like that. So we will not have a dev stream for June. And they went over quite a bit of stuff today. It was actually a roller coaster of emotions for me specifically, where they showed the new Yarelli Warframe. I made some horrible predictions that actually came true, and I'm really upset about that. They also showed the new Corpus Lich's Sisters of Parvos update, a bunch of stuff about that. They showed some of the stats of the new weapons. They showed this, they showed that, they showed all that stuff. So we're going over quite a bit of it today. Not everything. I kind of just am winging this video, see how it goes. And yeah, we'll talk about how Yarelli is a K-Drive frame that will probably cover the Vent Kids. All right, let's get into it. Make sure you're subbed to the channel and all that kind of stuff, just to make sure that you're keeping up to date. All right, so let's start off with the first thing. There's also going to be a lot of information, like how the Sister of Parvos update will have the tentative melee nerfs and gun buffs. Now let's go over what we actually know so far. So what you can expect in this update, the gun buffs and all that kind of stuff, is that they're not changing the base stats of the guns. So for example, let's say you're thinking about the schedule. Oh, I like the schedule a lot. I want the schedule to be really good. Too bad. They're going to make it where you have to have these new mods they're adding. If you don't have the new mods, you are out of luck. You need to farm these new mods for the schedule or for whatever primary you're using. They didn't say anything about making single target weapons AoE. They didn't say about making these, like, the assault rifles are not going to be, like we've been talking about, assault rifle versus the rocket launcher. They're not doing anything like that. As far as we know, there will be new mods that will probably be obtained from the Steel Path. And they're also going to nerf melee. As you can see in this image on the screen, expect a handful of nerfs. So they're going to be making new mods for primaries and secondaries and nerfing melee to make secondaries and primaries look better. That's their avenue, or rather their angle they're going for here. So there's going to be a dev workshop and video explaining this plan for June 16th. Yeah, and they're basing all these buffs and nerfs around the Steel Path. So people using melee on the Steel Path is what has caused this decision, and people complaining saying that melee was too good or guns were too bad or whatever. So expect that in the Sister Powers update. We don't have the date of when it's releasing, but they did say it will be coming up before TennoCon, okay? So it will probably be in June, to be honest. I'm guessing late June will be when this update comes out. All right, moving on to roller coaster of emotions, honestly. So this same update, the Sister of Parvos is going to have a Vent Kids update. There is going to be some new Vent Kids stuff, and I'm putting my money on Yarelli, the new Warframe, coming from the Vent Kids for reputation, guys. Yes, that vile sentence was just uttered by me. Yarelli will most likely come from the Vent Kids. And we have some gameplay of her abilities here, but let's go over it. So apparently in the lore, Yarelli is like the saint of the Vent Kids, or some horrible abomination of lore like that. There will be a new Vent Kids ephemera. I'm guessing it's a Vent Kid that floats around you, spitting out Vent Kid slang and all the enemies, but we don't actually know what it's going to be. There will be new Vent Kid weapons, whatever that's supposed to mean. And we're also getting some other things, like a new Hero alternative helmet. I don't know what this Corpus Railjack and Survival thing has to do with the Vent Kids, but whatever. There will be new Parazon mods, and also a comic book showing how Yarelli loves to ride on the K-Drive. So that is all terrible. I'd say if you want to get Yarelli without getting her... Okay, actually, no. Let's just start right now. I think us as a community should probably just reject Yarelli. Let's pretend she doesn't exist. If we're going to have to get Vent Kids rep to get her in the first place, or buy her for plat, I'd say just get her for plat, because this is going to start a terrible precedent. What's next? Fishing frame? You can tell me I have to get the rare, the helmet of Fisher Goth or something like that from this really rare pond? My guess is Yarelli's parts are going to be down here. For like 25,000 K-Drive rep, you get the Yarelli helmet, the Yarelli chassis and all that. And complete horror, evil situation, you would probably have to get some of these K-Drive, like, engines and stuff to build Yarelli. If they really want to push us to buy it with platinum from them, this is the kind of things they're going to end up doing, guys. You're going to be rank 5 with the Vent Kids to buy Yarelli parts, and you're going to need to have, like, the highbrow built to even craft her in the first place. As you can see, you need Hespazam alloy, Tepa, nodules, all this random stuff you get from Fortuna. So, yes, we don't actually know for a fact if that's how it's going to work so far, but, you know, expect nerfs, as we were told. So yeah, that's going to be it. Let's show Yarelli and what her abilities do. Also, she is really weird looking. She had, like, her animations are like little water hearts. We go from Sevagoth, the coolest frame ever, to this. So I'm a little bit, you know, I don't know what to even say, to be honest. So let's get into what their stream showed. We are going to go on their official dev stream, and I'm just going to click around here. So here is Yarelli. That's actually Rebecca. There we go. So Yarelli right here. Very low armor stat, very high energy stat, medium health, and pretty high shields as well. They very high energy stat. I believe that's because her second ability is a K drive. Her second ability will actually get you on a K drive. And we actually have some stats for her abilities as well, which we'll go over here. There's going to be a universal rifle skin that will come from Dog Days, will be the Super Soaker. So let's get into that mission here. Now, here is the thing. Okay, so her second ability is the K-Drive monster. You jump on, you are actually on a K-Drive in mission. While you're moving, she does increase crit chance with secondaries, which is super random, but I guess it makes sense because you can use secondaries on K-Drives. And yeah, you're probably going to run to a lot of walls with this. I believe power strength will actually influence how fast you move. We actually have some of the stats for Yarelli's abilities right here. And let's see. So here is some of the Yarelli ability stats. It's really bad quality. Her first ability will throw out water globes that will grab on enemies. If they don't find an enemy fast enough, they will actually grab on. They'll chill and wait for enemies to come by. And that seems like it might be her subsumed ability. We're not entirely sure. But yeah, as you can see right there, it grabs the enemy and then it will deal damage to them over time. That's like a level 10 butcher. It's not going to really... The damage will be very low. And we also got her second ability turning into the K-Drive. You can see that right here. The K-Drive has additional health. You take 75% reduced damage while on the K-Drive. So, you know, it's not going... You're going to die a lot on the K-Drive is my prediction. You will die a lot on this K-Drive. Her third ability is actually going to be this Beyblade Attack, where you shoot out these water blades around you, and they have a duration... And they seem to deal slash damage to the enemies. Now, keep in mind, these are very low-level enemies. We're not sure what her build was, really. It seemed like it was unmodded, honestly. And her fourth ability is going to basically create a vortex that will pull enemies in, and they'll get shot into the air like a geyser. It seemed like a pretty bad version of, you know, Zephyr's 4, the tornado. But we'll have to see how it actually ends up working out. So, I don't really see much synergy between her abilities here. I guess there's a little bit of synergy between... her aqua blades and the water tornado, because like you'll pull them into the tornado and then slice them up while they're right next to you. But overall, seems like one of the worst frames in the game, in my opinion. There's the fourth ability right there. I think as a community, we should just reject Yarelli. She's most likely going to take her K-Drive thing is going to take K-Drive mods. It's not going to be worth modding out, that's for sure. I'd say just subsume off her K-Drive ability. There's not going to be really much point to it. Besides like a gimmick, and yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, if you maybe let's say for some reason you want to like Yarelli, you're like, well, I just think she's cool. I like water themed frames, and that's fair. That's fair. If you like water themed abilities and all that, that's fair. I don't really see the point of her K-Drive. You'll probably need to be getting K-Drive mods, which a lot of the K-Drive mods aren't super. You know, they're not really doing anything groundbreaking. Let's go over some of these K-Drive mods right here. Which is going to be right here. Okay, so we're already in the Vent Kid store. So let's look at some of these, what you can do on her K-Drive technically. Reduce gravity while falling down. Leaving a trail of fire when you move around on the K-Drive after you do a trick. Increase grinding. K-Drive grind speed. Like, look at these mods. These are all, like, trick focused. Double jump height. Jump charge time, like these are the kinds of things that we are going to be dealing with here. Now there might be a couple of these that could be potentially okay. Let's look at these. These are like the newer ones at the bottom down here. Tap and hold grind in the air to execute a 20-meter slam shockwave. Maybe bomb the landing will be pretty interesting for some CC. We've also got juice. Executing tricks charges your energy, 55 energy per 100 trick points. Maybe you can have like infinite energy with this. Increase the maximum trick combo to 6,000. Add 10 boost speed, consumes energy. So maybe she can move kind of fast, but at the same time, you could just jump in Arcwing and go 5 times as fast. So, yeah, not looking good there. I'm going to probably say I'm going to not invest in Yarelli at all. She might be one of those frames that I just actually don't do anything with. Like, it will definitely not be a Sevagoth situation where it's like, yo, dog, triple Umbra, or a Forma up in here. Let's get like 15 Forma on that Sevagoth. No, this is going to be the opposite. This might be a 1 or 2 Forma at most, and I doubt I will mod out the Exalted K Drive. Just like with Titania's Melee, I don't really use Titania's Melee. I will probably not use her Exalted K Drive. But let's move on. We did go over, like they said, there's going to be some gun nerfs. We got a couple screenshots of some of the new Archiplasma right here. It's increased stats. I have a feeling it's not going to be too great, but we'll have to see what these new mods are. The Yarelli animations really are weird. We have to see. Okay, let's go over the Corpus Lich stuff. And we didn't get too much information here, but we do know how the Lich hunt is going to go. So there's some new ephemeras that look really cool. I'm not going to pretend they don't look cool. This is one of them. This is actually, the dog has 2 ephemeras mixed together. So you're going to be fighting the dog, and then you're going to be fighting the Lich. So how that's going to work. The new thralls for the Corpus Liches are these dogs. There are not any of the Corpus Lich, like, thrall henchmen. When you stab this dog with the Parazon, it will give you murmurs. We don't know how regularly they'll spawn, but they will be basically a more tanky version of a normal thrall. And the way you get these Liches to spawn in the first place, you actually need to get the highest tier Granum Void coin, and you have to go in the Granum Void to activate this. And we don't know exactly, like, I'm guessing you're going to need to kill at least, like 50 enemies, or whatever the lowest tier is, to get the Kuva Thrall to spawn. But this will be very annoying. This will definitely make getting the Liches in the first place a little bit slower, as you'll still just run the Hydra mission on Pluto, and you'll activate this. But the thing is, this takes about, like, I think it's like 30 or it's a whole minute of killing enemies. This will make getting the thralls in the first place much slower, and you will not be able to, like, endlessly run it just until you get the weapon you want. You might run out of Granum coins. Who knows? I have about 60 of them. If you want to be grinding Koopa Liches, dude, Corpus Liches right at launch, you will probably want to get a good amount of these coins sitting around, especially if you get a low percentage on your Koopa Lich. I'm going to call it Koopa Liches now. On your Koopa Liches Archiplasmor, like say you get a 25er, you're going to need to grind like 3 or 4 more Archiplasmors after that to get a max 60% roll, if you even want it at that point. So, yeah, you kill all the Granum Specters, you get kicked out of there, and then right after you get kicked out, you have the potential of a Kuva Thrall, or whatever they're called, Corpus Thrall spawning. We're not even going over everything here, but it's going to be a similar situation, as you can see right there. It looks like a treasurer spawns, you go over to it, you see if it's the weapon you want. If it's the weapon you want, you stab it, and you can. It's basically copy and paste of Corpus, or of Koopa Liches at that point. The Koopa Liches. Man, Koopa Liches is great. I really liked it a lot. So she's going to Ember down this enemy, and as you can see, it had an Archiplasmor, and she's like, all right, Archiplasmor, I remember that weapon being okay in 2016. Let's go ahead and get that. Now, here is how the thralls are going to work. If you can actually get to it. I'm going to speed this up a little bit here. They already skip over. Okay, so here is the way the thralls will work. Now, keep in mind, this is going to, if you want to test against this kind of enemy, it will be an armored robot with a ton of shield. You could, if you want to do some simulacrum tests to see how the damage is going to go, I'd say spawn in one of those big, beefy arachnoids with the big shields. It might be the Kite Arachnoid, the greenish one. Those will be a good test for this. Also, there's a Jackal you can spawn in there with a ton of armor, a ton of health, and a ton of robotic shields as well. So that's what you're going to be here, and you're going to stab the Thrall. It will give you about 10 Thralls worth, it seems like, and there will not be any normal Corpus henchmen. So our strategy of speedrun it with Saren's third ability, or use a Toxin Vermisplicer or whatever, that will work great, and the whole, like, the Saren Lich Hunter setup is going to honestly work great for this, guys. You can use Ensnare to ensnare that dog, most likely. While it's ensnared, you use the Zymos and get ridiculous Bee Swarm headshots. If these guys resist Toxin for some reason, that's honestly fine. You can use someone like Zaku to remove their shield entirely. You could use Nyx to remove their shield entirely. You could even use Subsumed on Pillage from Hildren's ability to remove their shield nearly entirely. So my current strategy is going to be the same thing I showed in the previous video, but if they do nerf melee a bunch, I'm actually going to do something like this, a magnetic build on the Pathicist, where I can actually, since the Pathicist has a guaranteed Viral proc on throw, we can get some magnetic procs from the throw and also get a Viral proc. Should make it very easy to kill the Corpus evil dog. He also even got Dispatch Override for increased movement speed for our Saren to run through the mission faster with the Brahma. Alright, so that is going to be basically it for the Corpus Liches. Let's just finish it off here with a little bit more of some other things they'll be getting. So there will be actually a new resource / currency that you can get from the Voidstorm missions. If you remember Voidstorms, those fissures in space, well, there's going to be more fissures in space in your future if you want to get every weapon in the game. It's going to be a new resource that you can get from completing them, and you're going to go to, what's this guy's name? Ergo Glast in the dojo, or in the relay, rather, and you can buy his melee weapons from him. Here we are. Alright, so you go over here. Borrow is definitely not live on PC currently. And right here, so there's a new resource that drops in Voidstorms. You get enough of it, he's going to have like a weekly rotating stock or something like that. I'm not sure exactly how that will work. But yeah, the stats on this Anku did not seem real. I did not mean to click that. The stats on this Anku did not seem real. 220 initial combo on a Scythe? Are you saying it will always have a 12x multiplier? These weapon stats seem very placeholder, as you can see right there. 220 combo count. 24% crit chance, 1.6 multiplier. I would not hold too much weight into these stats. Because who knows if they're actually real. This might be some kind of like ever-changing stat thing here, like Zaws, but we have to actually see. And there's the new resource up there in the top corner. You'll get that from, and as you can see right there, purchase with 50 of that. That's some of the things that we'll be looking forward to in this update. But yeah, so overall, guys, it was a roller coaster of emotions. I can't believe they're actually making a K-Drive frame. Yeah, they're actually doing that. If Yarelli was obtained in any other way, I would be extremely surprised, as one of her abilities is literally a K-Drive. And she's apparently in the lore the K-Drive master. So yeah, I mean, if you really want to prepare and don't want to, if you just don't want to spend plat at all and you need Yarelli, get your K-Drive rep maxed out. Maybe get a couple of the mods. Like I was showing you there, I don't think any of the mods are going to be super impactful from the K-Drive kids. But yeah, I'd say honestly, you could just write off Yarelli, like pretend she doesn't exist. Honestly, it's a huge like a direction I don't really want to go in with this game, where it's like, well, yo dog, there's the Arcwing frame now. I guess Titania kind of is the Arcwing frame. How about the Necromech frame? You need to have a fully built Void Rig chassis, Void Rig blueprint, and Void Rig like engine to build Necromech or something like that. Where it basically, think of anything in the game. Is there gonna be a ghoul frame? You gotta get the ghoul saw, you gotta get a stubba, you gotta get a Cortac to build the ghoul frame. That's what I'm kind of thinking, that this is the route they're going down, because they need to make people actually want to buy this stuff. That's the thing. Unless they make things really annoying, like I said in my previous video, Sevagoth is really annoying to farm. You might want to buy Sevagoth. It's going to be tenfold with Yarelli. Oh, you're at rank 0 Vent Kids? Bro, no. You're either not going to ever play Yarelli, or you're going to buy Yarelli with Plat. That's the route that this seems like it's going down. And yeah, I'm just going to pretend she doesn't exist. I'll probably just buy her anyway, because, I want to get videos out on this stuff. But unless there's like some mind-blowing synergy of ability she has, I don't see myself playing her at all, especially since I think Sevagoth is much cooler, and we're basically doing a complete 180 on frame, design, and all that. Of course, that stuff's mostly subjective, but yeah, as you can see right here with her K-Drive, damage reduction on the K-Drive and stuff like that. So, I'll talk to you guys next time. Hopefully you found this video helpful. It's not everything that was in the dev stream at all. There's also like clan advertisement if you want to get people in your clan. You give Maru 20 Rabido, and she's like, yo, here's your commercial. You'll get only people that only people that are like MR20 can click on this commercial and stuff like that. There's other things that are getting added, but they weren't super important to me. There was a bunch of other stuff that got leaked recently, which we're not going to really go over. But basically, the 10 gun stuff is already spoiled. It's definitely out there if you want to see it already. And yeah, hope you guys found the video helpful. I try not to drag it out too much, like I know some people sometimes think I do. It's just a lot to talk about, a lot of stuff I'm really passionate about. And I feel like TennoCon this year might be pretty good. That's going to be in like mid-July. This update will be out probably before July even starts, so expect it like because we're getting the Nerf video and all that on the June 16th. So I just say expect it June 23rd, something like that. Like a week after the dev workshop of them showing how they're going to nerf melee, which we already know they're going to be reducing the power of some mods. They're going to make it where you can't double stack like melee speed. I'm guessing they're going to make it where you can't double stack crit damage, all that stuff, and ignore Rivens altogether. There will be new mods for guns. So if you don't have the new mods for guns, get wrecked. They're going to be exactly the same as before. And yeah, we'll have to see what happens as well, guys. I'll talk to you next time, and take it easy. Peace.